Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name is Larry. This is Ham Radio Live, show number 32. Why do our ham radios sound like they do? Now we start out with WWV. Let me explain the point to this show because it does make a point. We'll make it quickly, okay? Here is a Yaesu 101 MP. This is a rig that sells for about $4,000. As ham radio operators, people get so wrapped up into IMD, selectivity, sensitivity, the quality of the receive chain, the transmitter, all of that. But we don't ever think about the audio that comes out of it. We just don't do that. And we should. We should be more demanding of how these radios sound. We should be. Okay. Let me show you. I've shown this briefly on a prior episode. This is not the smallest shortwave radio I have. It's one of them. This is a Texan PL880. Okay. It's a $160 radio. It's also tuned to WWV. Now, I can't make the bandwidth get much smaller here, but I'll let you hear what it sounds like. Now understand, of course, we're hearing QRN, right? We're hearing the QRN. Let's wait. Rig. Radio. Any second now, we'll hear the voice. And we'll make the point. It's great radio. I love it. It's been a good receiver for me. Asked for it for a Christmas gift. And there's a reason I'm showing you this. I'd like you to have a little better example, if I can, of that, because we had some fade. Keep in mind, the radio here, the Yaesu, has the benefit of a vertical antenna at 33 feet. This has the advantage of a whip antenna that's roughly 3 feet. Okay. And I have terrible RFI still from next door. Okay. All right. So there was
Radio System Organization, or MARS, will provide announcements on minute 10 of the WWV broadcast and minute 50 of the WWVH broadcast. These announcements will provide information to participants regarding the purpose, date, time, and location of the exercise. Announcements will air 2 weeks prior to and during each exercise. Please go to www.dodmars.org for more information.
okay. Coming from the shortwave DX side for over 4 decades, I've used some great rigs, really good radios that for their time were very, very good, and for this time are very, very good. Our rigs we accept because they sound like this, right? But we don't really, I think, have a whole lot of perspective that they should sound better. Let me show you the inside of 3 very popular rigs right now, okay? First one we're going to show you right here. Take a look at the inside. This is a Yaesu FTDX 1200 on the left and a 950 on the right. Granted, this is not the best of Yaesu's line, but look at the speakers. Basically, the same. I can tell you in my 101 MP, it's not much different. Really isn't. Okay. Next one. Give you this one here real quick. Get it to pop up on the screen. This is the inside of a ICOM, of the Kenwood 890. That's a Kenwood 890, the inside of one. Now, this is a very expensive radio. Look at the speaker. That's what you get for, what is it now? Over $4,000? Is that what it is? Okay. Next one is the ICOM 7610. This is the inside of the 7610. There's the speaker. You know, in ham radio, for whatever reason, we just accept what we get, and we should expect so much better out of the audio we get from our rigs. We should, because there is a way to make them better. There's a great way to make them better. I was talking yesterday that this show would be about improving your radio signal. Because I'll be honest, the first radio I received when I became a ham licensee after 45 years of DXing on some great rigs was the ICOM 7300. It was hard not to. The price was so good. I could get a new radio with a warranty, and I wouldn't have to worry about stuff. And I got fatigued listening to it after only an hour. I couldn't sit there anymore. And this is from someone who's done this for a long time. And I've got to be really honest, guys. When you spend this much money for a piece of equipment, I don't care if it's you can buy a 75-inch LCD television, top of the line, for less money than many of these rigs cost. And these rigs sound like this. And they shouldn't sound like this. They should have better audio quality. Now, what do I mean by better audio quality? Well, Bob Heil from Heil Engineering in Illinois did a lot of work, spent a lot of years of looking at important data and information about where we listen and how we listen, how we hear. How do we hear? What frequency of the voice spectrum is the most important for us to hear with? He developed the Parametric Receive Audio System. It's called the PRAS RX system. We're going to be doing a review on that here very shortly to give you a good view of what it's like to use it, because it makes your ham radio sound like it should have in the first place. The manufacturers spend so much time spending in selectivity and reception and IMD and quality transmitters and nice, beautiful screens that we just accept the sound because that's the way it's always been. It's to me, it's very frustrating. It's very much like when I did the loop video, right? The 3 minutes that should change your ham radio life. It's got over 1,000 views like that. And I get tons of people saying, well, my dummy load will do that too. Well, yeah, sure. Get yourself any S5, S6 signal somewhere in there, and your dummy load's going to act like an antenna. Of course it will. And the signal to noise is going to go down to zero. Of course it will. Pardon my dogs. But my point is, a loop antenna is going to hear better because it's designed to hear better. It's designed to be a receive antenna. In the case of the MFJ 1786 and 1788, you get the benefit of being able to transmit up to 150 watts. That's a cool benefit. That's a really good and unique benefit. We're going to be reviewing the Chameleon 2.0 receive loop and transmit loop shortly. But the point is, guys and gals, listen, we should expect more. I mean, you know, what we get should be so much better. I think the best thing for me to do here is to help explain why we should get better. Let's hear from Bob Heil. This is from the web page, actually the YouTube page for Heil, and it's Mr. Heil talking about the PRAS system. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Bob Heil, and I want to talk to you about a product that I've been working on for over 2 years. Come on, let's go check it out. This is the Heil Parametric Receive Audio System. I designed it specifically to improve receive audio for amateur radio. We achieved this by creating an equalizer with a parametric mid-range, which is so important because, as we learned from the Bell Lab studies, the ranges between 2.5 and 3K is where all of the articulation of the human voice lays, so we must be able to change that filter. The PRAS allows operators to have unique control over those important frequencies. First, operators can adjust the parametric mid-range from 400 to 4,000 cycles. The sweet spot is recommended between 2 to 3K. In addition, operators can control the presence of these mid-range frequencies plus or minus 15 dB by using the gain control of the mid-range. Combined with the low frequency filter set at 160 Hz and the high filter set at 6K, the PRAS provides operators unparalleled control and quality of their receive audio. By adjusting these frequencies, we can improve the clarity of muddy frequencies and can improve the intelligibility of noisy signals, or we can help dial in frequencies that hearing loss has taken away, from resulting in a much more enjoyable listening experience. There are several ways to take audio from the PRAS. The best way is to connect it to the Heil powered speaker, the HPS5. This speaker uses our own 5-inch speaker, 3.5-inch tweeter, and they're in a tuned cavity. They're not just stuck in a box, they're tuned. And they're driven with our own 25 watt at 0.1% distortion. This is hi-fi level. The two together ensures the best audio that you will receive from the PRAS and your receiver. For private listening, we have 2 headphone outs which have their own volume control. You also can record from the PRAS. It's a wonderful system for those that are having any problems with hearing losses. The whole system is very easy to use, and I truly hope the Parametric Receive Audio System, along with the Heil powered speaker, will improve your receiving audio. Please see the comment section below for links to more videos about the PRAS. If you would like more information about the product or any other amateur radio products, please visit our website at heilsound.com.
All right, so there you go. That's Mr. Heil explaining how the PRAS works, and it really defines why it works so good, because it focuses on the mid-range, which is the most essential part of an SSB broadcast. That's really where the human voice is very well articulated. We're going to go more into the PRAS as the shows commence here. The near future, I'd say probably around show 37 or 8 or 9, somewhere in there. That's where we'll get into that system. I purchased it. Okay. So this isn't something I'm promoting because I'm getting and I'm going to get use out of it and I get it for free. None of that garbage. This is something I bought because I believe in it. And it's because I know how quality receivers should sound. We should demand more from ICOM, Kenwood, Yaesu, Elecraft, Apache Labs, all those guys are SDRs. So you listen off your computer speakers, right? But on rigs, when you have a physical radio sitting in front of you with a VFO knob and all the controls are there and they're not run off a computer, we should expect more. I believe we should expect much more. For the price you pay, it wouldn't cost that much money. And you can say all you want to, you can adjust the audio levels of bass, mid, and treble. You cannot get the sound you're supposed to get out of one of these that I can replicate with this $169 radio. You can't. You can't. And by the way, this speaker is about the same size as the one that's in that $4,000 radio. Folks, I love radio. I love radio. I mean, it's what I love to do. It's my stress reliever. It's been my life for most of my life. And when I came to amateur radio, into the ham radio license arena and be able to transmit, yeah, it's fun to make contacts. But I'll be honest, we should be expecting more from our manufacturers in the audio quality we get from our rigs. We should. They should be producing a better sound out of those because, in all honesty, you may say, well, it's ridiculous. Yeah, come on. It's just, you could parse it down, like in this one to 1.2 kilohertz, right? I mean, how much fidelity can you get there? That's not the point. The point is, how much time do you spend spinning the VFO listening for a signal? That time is fatiguing after a while listening for signals. And by the way, those signals should sound more full and rich than they do. They should. And I'm grateful to Dr. Heil for putting together a system to make our radios sound as good as they should in the first place. That's the point. Let's move over to the rig cam. We'll try and make a couple of friends today, see if we can make contact. Again, the RFI is there. It is the flow control of my neighbor's, by the way, flow control of my neighbor's, box that controls his waterfall, his little pond. Great story. So my neighbor goes and he, I said, well, look, I'll make a solution. So I go and I get one of those like boxes, those Tupperware container boxes you store stuff in. Just going to make a couple modifications to it and close it in some copper, put on a hinge, put a little wooden, knob on it so he can lift it up if he wants to adjust the settings of this water flow controller. Magic, away it goes. Closes it, RFI's gone because the copper is blocking all the RFI. So I don't see a screen that looks like this. Now, again, keep in mind, you're seeing it with no amplification on it. This is really what it sees. So the RFI here is awful. It really is. And it's going to be fixed. I guess what he said, and this is the best part, he called the manufacturer that manufactures this pond flow controller, and they said, oh, yeah, we've had that problem for a while. We make a special box with a copper wire, copper web inside it, and it takes care of all the RFI problems. Yeah, we'll get you that information tomorrow. And trying to explain to him that, by the way, the neighbor I'm talking about has a ham to his north and a ham right to his south. The difference is the ham that's to his north is a 2-meter 440 guy. The RFI stops at 60 megahertz. Of course it does. Yes. So he was saying, well, gee, the guy next door, he just never complained about this problem. Well, yeah, because it stops to about 10 megahertz, Well, actually, no, it's like, what is that, 80 megahertz below where he even works. So of course it doesn't. Anyway, it's just one of those things. It was so interesting to have that conversation with him. And so we're working on a solution. He'll get the box on it and it'll shield it from all the RFI. Rig cam, 20 meters. We got to talk to John in Montserrat yesterday. I wonder if he's back. Let's take a listen. He's at 14246 yesterday. And I know that there's like this group of people that work this area. By the way, just so you know, there is a group of people that do DX calls right here. One is in Japan, in Tokyo. The other one is in Montserrat, which is in the Southeast Caribbean. So this is a good place to go if you want to work, try and get some DX. We should still be tuned up, but just to be safe, we will. Let's go back to the rig cam. We'll get you a good look. So we're tuning up here on 14246 on 20 meters. And we'll see what happens. Not sure what we're going to get, but we'll certainly try. Today is Tuesday, September 15th, 2020. Not much happening out there. My friend Wade, my friend Ward, Southern California's here. Hey, Ward, good to see you, brother. As always. Thank you, buddy. You're very kind. You give me too much credit. Let's see if we can find somebody. I can see FT8 working hard down there. See it way down the left, the screen, the giant line. So anyway, yes, just so you know too, Ward, thank you again. Ward has been really good guy. We've been talking about the parametric radio, receive system together. Been talking about that. And by the way, Jerry did get a hold of me, so I'm going to be purchasing that. We're going to get it and get a shot at it. Give a shot at it. We'll see if we can make it work. So we'll do a show on it and hopefully have someone from Heil, which would be great because it'd be good to have one. And I think that's John in Montserrat again. Let's see if we can get him. This is DX. Just to give you guys an idea, John's a great guy. I love John. He's just got a great personality. John's call sign is Victor Papa 2, Mike November, India. And Montserrat is in the Southeast Caribbean. Looks like paradise to me. Holy moly. Love to spend a vacation there. John is about 4,000 miles away, but it's over land because he's got to go, this signal has to go all the way. If you think about it, I'm in the northwest corner of the United States, so it has to go all the way from my corner of the United States. It's got to skip across the U.S. and then into the Caribbean to the far southeast.
I think he went off for a bit. I'm not sure if he went to the phone or he went dating in DX someplace else. I was here talking to him before, but I had to get off of the radio, so I left him here calling CQ there.
Kilo 7 Hotel November. Hey, John. We'll say hi and Southern's good.
Okay, Jim. Yeah, Master was here. Let me. I'm surprised that maybe he went looking for somebody, and he never got back.
This is what the noise reduction does with it off.
Okay, let me go to the phone for a second and see where he's at.
Let me turn it on. This makes it nice. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Hello, John.
You want everything, Master Son, here? Okay, no, he's not on the radio. Give me a second. Hey, Claude, how are you doing?
Kilo 7 Hotel November. Hey, John. This is John from Montserrat. Very nice guy. Good man. Friend of the show. He's one of our friends. Every contact we make, we consider a friend. Let me run to the vertical. Hang on. It's going to quiet things down a little bit. But it's going to make the signal sound like FM. Well, not so much like FM, but sound better.
Let me pick up Claude.
This is one of those times where I'm at a portion on my antenna, for some reason, has a little bit of a hiccup on the 20-meter band. I don't know why, but right here it does. So we're good. 1-to-1 now. Good. It tricks the radio into 1-to-1. That's what tuners do. So for new hams, an antenna tuner doesn't tune your antenna. It just gives your radio a 1-to-1 match or close to it. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Hello, John. See if he comes back. I think I hit the VFO, guys. All of a sudden, that was nasty. Like, what? Hello? Kilo 7 Hotel November. John, you there? What these guys do, and it's interesting because they work from two different corners of the world, one in Japan, one in Montserrat. Both have directionals, I believe, and they both essentially work DX, what they do on 20 meters, right about this time. And John is one of those guys. He goes by the name Frankie. Good guy. Neat to do this. It's fun to work DX. It's always been a joy of mine to listen. And one of the coolest things for me about being in ham radio was finally being able to hear and talk to them. In fact, what hooked me was a little Grundig G5 that was actually smaller than this radio right here, smaller than the Texan PL880. And I heard a ham contact coming out of Hawaii and all these people in New Hampshire and Pennsylvania on the East Coast, the Northeast, returning his call. And I was like, I got to do this. And I got hold of my wife. I said, please, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Just let me take the tests. And I was able to do that, which was great. I was able to take the tests and get the tests together and, let it happen. It's good. Try it again here for him. Let me get you over here. By the way, good job, Ward. Good job on it. He ordered the Heil system from Main Trading Company in Texas. That'll be great. I think you'll love it. I know you will. I know you will. Your 101's going to sound like it should have.
November, and Jim is waiting for you. I got a VE3 GPS standing by for you, and I got a radio as well. So I think it's fine. You got it.
Kilo 7 Hotel November. And if we can't get him, we'll close the show. It's just nasty on 20, and I'm really not looking to go to 40 because this RFI is just ridiculous. It's just too hard. So right now we're on the high gain 680, the AV 680 vertical. It's a 30-foot antenna. I don't want to get in the middle of that. Not a good thing. There's certain things that hams do and shouldn't do. And one of the things we shouldn't do is, when we really want to make a call, especially in the interest of a YouTube video, let it go. Let it go. It's okay. We've been blessed to make many calls doing the show. And I'm honored about that. I really am. But the main point of the show is that we should expect more. We should. And it's well known in ham radio that Kenwood does make the best sounding rigs. And that's great. It's true. They do make good sounding rigs. I've test drove most of them, but they should sound better. They should. Not only out of the speaker, but out of your headphones. And the Heil system is going to be something I think that we're all going to enjoy very much here. And it's the reason why I invested into it, because I do believe in the purpose of this channel. I believe it to encourage people who are ham radio operators or who want to be ham radio operators, especially, to get those licenses. Okay. It's simple. It's not hard to do. Now, from tech to general, if you're on technician, you pretty much get just phone privileges on 10 and 6. You don't get, phone privileges there, the lower bands. You can go way up. You're up into the UHF or microwave bands. You can go there, but you can't go on HF bands except for 10 meters. And 10 meters is rarely open. So it's kind of a tough gig. You've got to get up to the general license. To get your general, you only have 25 questions. 35 questions. You get 74% right, you're good. A lot of those questions have to do with schematic, which thing in the schematic is the variable capacitor? Which one in this schematic is the inductor? Which one in this schematic is the battery? I mean, those kind of things. You'll also get things that might be like, if you're on 7.298 and you hear a CQ call and you're on, bad example. If you're on 7.126, or I think there's on 127. If you're on 7.127 and you hear a CQ call, can you respond in the United States? The answer is no. And the reason you can't is because you're using lower sideband. A signal that begins at 7.127 ends at 7.124. Therefore, it's out of the band plan. You must be at 7.125 or higher for phone privileges. That's the way you got to do it. Those are the questions. And they're not that hard to get you from the technician to the general license. And once you get general, it's about, I guess, over 95% of the frequencies are available to you. So it makes it kind of nice. Anyway, we'll call it a wrap today. We'll just call it a wrap. I've spent all day trying to get the components to cut down the RFI that you see on the screen right here. Just to get rid of all that so I can actually use the radio, and have some fun. And my neighbor said, I'll turn it off at night until we get the box to cut down the RFI. So he's been really good to work with. He's not a bad guy. He's a great guy. Marine Corps vet. God bless him for what he did. And, I'm grateful he's doing that. So I'm going to definitely be on tonight on 40, no doubt, because it's the first time ever I've been on the radio in my QTH and I'll see a clear band. Oh, I can't wait. But anyway, a rig and this little shortwave radio. And the shortwave radio sounds as good, if not better, than the rig. That's a problem. Manufacturers, not trying to put you down. You make great products. But we should get better on our end. We should have better audio. Thanks for watching. Ham Radio Live Show 32 in the can. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully at 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm not going to be going all over town looking for parts to try and fix an RFI issue. I should be here on time. So 1 Pacific tomorrow, live on Ham Radio Live. Thanks for watching. Warden, California, the very best to you. God bless you. See everybody. 73 from Oregon. My name's Larry, Kilo 7 Hotel November. Until next time, you guys take care. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.